This is Breakfast Daily on Citi TV. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, it's our first nutritional segment of the year. And of course, we have to set our resolution for 2020 and hopefully follow through. Your favorite state-registered nutritionist is here with us, Akosua Konadu. And throughout the conversation, if you have any questions for her, let us know with the hashtag Breakfast Daily. And the WhatsApp line 0550-585-832. Happy New Year, Akosua.
Happy New Year, Dziffa.
How are you?
I'm fine, yourself?
I'm good. How important is it for us to set some goals as far as our nutrition is concerned for the year?
Okay, this is our 31st night. Because you have people going to church on 31st to set New Year resolutions. Yeah. Okay, Lord, I want to be coming to church. I want to be doing this. I want to be doing that. And it's very important for us because our bodies are the temple of God. Yeah. We are not preaching this morning. It's about nutrition. But we need to make sure that we are taking good care of our bodies too, because, yes, the temple dwells in something, and that has to do with our body. And so it is very critical for us as individuals to make sure we are protecting ourselves, even as we set new goals to become this in our professions, to be this, to receive awards, to do this and that. If the body is not healthy or kicking to receive those awards,
can also function.
Yes, so we have to take care of our bodies and we will be able to sail through and then achieve whatever we have to achieve. So it is very, very important for us to make sure we set resolutions as far as our nutritional health is concerned, because I always say that it is your true wealth. Because, Dziffa, if in Ghana you stay away from mosquitoes, yes, and you are eating well, you are likely to stay away from the doctor for a while. Yes, once in a while.
So we don't see the doctors until we're sick.
Yes, so it is very critical for us to take good care of ourselves as far as nutrition is concerned, because most of the things we are getting, our people are walking through hospitals, clinics every day with NCDs. And what are NCDs? They are non-communicable diseases. They are gotten from our lifestyle behaviors. What we are eating basically is what is giving us the high blood sugar, that's the diabetes, the hypertension, the gouty arthritis. Every non-communicable disease you can think of has a major connection with what we are consuming. So it is very, very important for us. And Dziffa, together with myself, we probably will throw a challenge to our viewers.
Definitely.
If you are able to do this by the time 2020 is over, maybe we'll have an award show for them.
Definitely. And it's baby steps.
We have to award them, because I believe that it's a year and you can achieve a lot. I always tell people you don't have to zoom into it. Okay, so you've taken 5 years to have this weight, and somebody goes like, shed weight in 5 days.
It won't work.
So they are lying to you.
So where do we start from as far as, making sure we change our eating habits and the kinds of things we eat? Where should we start from? Okay,
so to start with, people who want to diet. And I would always want to say that dieting is you cutting down on your consumption of A, B, C, or let me say food, to make sure you attain a certain weight. For instance, I am overweight. I am not overweight, but let's say
hypothetically speaking.
Yes, you are overweight, or someone is overweight, and okay, as part of my New Year resolution, I want to achieve a healthy BMI, which is between 18.5 to 25.0 kilogram per meter square. So I go, okay, we'll walk through the resolutions.
Go ahead,
yes, so I would have to set a target, and my target probably, let's say I find myself between around 26, 27, 28, 29. So, okay, now I want to come to 24.
Yeah. And that's a body mass index.
Yes, that's your body mass index. That's the BMI. So I want to make sure I am moving from 27, 28, 29 to 24 to achieve a healthy BMI. And there are people who can really stretch themselves and go like, I want to be safe, so I want to gain, let's say, I want to be at 22 or even 20. It wouldn't come overnight. You would have to take gradual processes to make sure you achieve that weight, because I go like, if you lose it in 1 week, something you took something, you can't live on that thing for yes, and so when it's coming back, it's even terrible than it was before. So you have to make sure you do it gradually, because once it's a lifestyle thing, it has to be gradual so that your body gets used to it. It becomes part and parcel of you. That's why we have to set it down and make sure by December you are sending Dziffa or Citi messages saying that, okay, after listening to you, I decided to make these resolutions, and here I am, 2020, before election.
This is how I look.
I look.
So where do we start from as far as the kinds of meal plans we should have? Drink more water, cut down on this and that. Where do you'd suggest we should start from?
Okay, so Dziffa, basically I have to accept that this is my body. This is how I want my body to look like. Yes, and so this is what I need to do. And we've spoken about the healthy BMI, so I wouldn't even go there. Yes, I wouldn't even talk about underweight, because now underweight is not a problem in Accra here. It's a problem somewhere else.
Obesity
but
station.
we are talking about everybody. Yes, I find myself below 18.5 kilogram per meter square as far as my BMI is concerned. What do I need to do? Yes, planning a meal for such a person will be different from somebody who would want to shed off weight, because this is a person who needs a push as far as caloric intake is even concerned. So for that person, it's an add-on as compared to somebody who is overweight, who is obese, who is morbid. So depending on the individual I have in front of me, if I'm deciding to design a meal plan for me, I will be strict in the sense that I would want to follow and carefully do everything that is stipulated on the plan. But for somebody who is underweight, I need to put in more as far as add-on is concerned. I need to make sure there are more proteins in there to make sure I build on the person's body mass. Yes, for somebody who is overweight, obese, that person needs to shed off some weight. So I need to cut down on the caloric intake and make sure, even if I'm giving the same equivalent, they are low caloric intake foods, or foods with a low glycemic index. Yes. So that is it. It's an individual thing. I can't sit here and design a meal plan to even suit everybody in this studio, because our body's needs are different. We have different metabolism. Our bodies accept certain things differently from each other, and so it has to be on the individual basis. So if you need me, just contact me. Come on, I'm ready to help.
But we did write out a list that we're going to work with, right? And it might not work for everyone, but it's a good starting point. So take a look at that list, and then we'll go through them one at a time, the different points. So the very first point on that list is dieting this new year. The second one is eating a balanced diet. So I think we'll talk about the points 2 and 3. Eating a balanced diet and drinking more water, 8 glasses per day. And I think that's supposed to be like 8 ounces as well. So Akosua, walk us through the importance of, first, what is a balanced diet and what does that do for our bodies? And of course, taking in more fluids, especially water, throughout the day.
Thank you, Teacher Dziffa. So a balanced diet is a diet containing all the 6 food groups in their right proportion. So you have protein sitting in there, you have carbohydrates sitting in there, you have fats and oil in there, you have minerals in there, you have vitamins in there. Some people will say fiber. Others will also use water in place of fiber. So whichever works for you, fine. Food has to come with a lot of fiber. Yes, and we have fruits and vegetables too, most importantly. But in our part of the world, it's difficult for us to have everything sitting at a meal. For instance, a typical breakfast, our breakfast is mostly deficient of a lot of things because we want to go for the Hausa cocoa and the kose, and we have just millet sorghum, which is supplying you something from the staples. You have sugar, which falls under the carbohydrates, still staple, yes. And then you have, let's say, kose being protein because of beans. Age, you are a kose person, yes. Or there are people who go in for bread. So you realize that you wouldn't be able to satisfy everything as far as fruits and vegetables, vitamins, minerals. Fine, you get some from the millet or the sorghum, or if the corn porridge or the white porridge you are eating, you may get 1, 2, 3, but it is always not easy having everything sitting on a plate as far as our breakfast here is concerned. So we say that by the end of the day. So when you do a 24-hour dietary recall, we should be able to satisfy everything we spoke about. Yes, and so they will call it the 4-star diet, which is still something that satisfies the 6 food groups. Yes, or nutrients. So that is it. Make sure by the time you do the 24-hour dietary recall, if you can have a balanced diet or meal at a meal, a balanced diet at a meal, let's say breakfast, it can satisfy everything.
So
that
how would
is
that
how
look like
we want
practically?
it.
So
Okay,
let's say 8 a.m. I have my house cocoa and beans.
No, let's do the white porridge. I like the white porridge thing.
Fine.
Okay, so white porridge, you have a bit of sugar, sweetener, honey, whatever you want to do with, but honey not good for children. So yes, if it's for children, do sugar. Yes, because honey easily, they can easily have infections. Yes, it's easier for infection to happen as far as children are concerned.
You can do brown sugar.
So brown sugar or refined sugar. I bought, a friend was just laughing at me, so he was like, okay, let's put water on this brown sugar and wait for some minutes. It turned white.
Okay.
Was like,
so there's no difference between the two? Or
the
there's
truth
still
is
some
that
nutritional difference?
if you can get a trusted source, because even look at me, it happened to me. I thought I had gotten brown sugar from Brazil, not even from here, because like they don't serve as the good thing. Then I scooped and then we added water and he was just laughing at me. You think it's from Brazil? This is brown sugar. So if you can get one from a trusted source, fine. You can do the honeys. For that one, you are so sure that it has everything intact. Yeah, so you have your honey, sugar, sweetener. Yes, for people with diabetes, sometimes they use sweetness. And then you have, let's say, your 40 ml milk by the side, or 2 scoops of powdered milk. That's middle. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
By the side. Yes. And then let's say you had omelette.
Then you pump more vegetables in the omelette.
That is omelette. What we fry here is not omelette.
That's perfectly fine. But that's why we are learning.
They count the onions.
That's why we are learning in the new year.
We count the tomatoes.
Okay,
so make sure you have a lot of vegetables in there. If you want to enjoy an omelette, you should have a lot of vegetables. To the point that people, onion, cabbage, whatever you feel like pumping in there. Yes, and make sure that you have the egg in there. Beat it or whisk it and then fry. That is proper omelette. Then you have, let's say, wholemeal bread, 2 slices, toasted or whatever you want to do with it. So for this one, Dziffa, you can say that it is satisfying the protocol because you have egg in there, satisfying the protein. You have milk in there, even satisfying another protein like 2. And then you have...
and of course, calcium from the milk.
Yes, thank you, Dziffa. You have corn porridge satisfying the staples. Yes, and then you have vegetables satisfying fruits and vegetable bracket. And definitely you will fry using oil. Yes, and so it is satisfying fats and oil.
Nice.
So at the end of the day, taking something like this will make sure that you are pumping yourself every goodness, and you get the minerals and the vitamins from the vegetables too. So it means that if I enjoy an omelette with 2 slices of wheat bread toasted, with corn porridge, with sugar, sweetener, honey, and then 40 ml. 40 ml is equivalent to 4 tablespoonfuls of milk. Or yes, if you can have what we used to measure, you can use your normal tablespoon, what we used to eat, to measure. 4 of that is equivalent to 40 ml. So if I have this for breakfast, it means that I've satisfied the protocol.
How do we pay attention to our portions, right? Because some of us grew up in an environment where the more carbs you have on your plate, the fuller you are. So 2020, what should that plate look like as far as the distribution of carbs, protein, fruits and vegetables?
In as much as we are always hard on carbs, we need it because our brain need glucose to function. And these vegetables and fruits, how many glucose can they release into our bodies? In as much as there are some amount of glucose in there. So we need the carbs or the carbs. But we have to make sure that when we pick a plate, so sorry, I didn't add that image.
We can visualize it.
Yes, so
2020 is a year of imagination.
So make sure that your food plate has carbs, it has protein, it has vegetables, Yes, fruits, we will snack with them.
What would the distribution be like?
I'm coming.
Okay.
And then you'd have fats and oil being satisfied if it's stew, if it's whatever. So what I would tell you to do now is to make sure that, let's say 1/4,
Okay.
one fourth of it is satisfying the vegetable,
Okay.
and then 1/4 is satisfying the protein.
Okay.
So if it's chicken, if it's beef, chicken, a drumstick is okay. If it's meat, 2 to 3 pieces is okay. But our pieces are relative, so when it comes to dieting or dietetics and nutrition, they use the matchbox to measure a piece. Because what I call a piece in my house
might be different
from what you call a piece in your house. So 2 to 3 of that is okay. You make sure that the other part is satisfying fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
There are people who go 1/4 even with the carbs.
Okay.
But
is that advisable?
It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. But make sure that at least I would tell you to add a little bit more to it. Okay. So for instance, if you are a normal person who will go for, let's say, 4 ladles of rice, I would tell you, let's cut down to 3. Okay. With time, we'll come to 2, which is the ideal for us. Okay. Yes, and it shouldn't be food. We call leveled. Yes, we heap our rice when we are serving, but rice should be served leveled. Okay. Yes, but there are some places too, they have a way of even measuring their rice. So they use nicer bowls. You go like, hey, restaurant, they are always cheating us. But that is a serving. That is all you need, Dziffa. Because after you pump in more than you need, your body will make use with what,
and turn that into fats.
It's supposed to, yes, and turn the others. Oh, you were a good student. 2018 today.
Anyway, let's get back to the list that we started off with. So we've talked about, the things you want to do as far as setting your
water
balanced diet. So we didn't talk about the water. So we'll talk about water and then the snacks. So Akosua, how important is it for us to drink more water?
Okay, so taking water or fluid replacement is a way we keep our electrolytes balanced. Okay, so organs, cells, and body tissues would need water or fluid to be able to carry on with their function. So transportation happens with even blood, and we know that a good composition of blood, water is very, 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 it's like the top as far as blood is concerned. So we need to replace our fluids to make sure that our body stays hydrated. It's very critical for us. And at this time of the month, it is very dry. I'm even dry down here, and I think I need water.
Mean up here?
Yes, okay, sorry, up here. Hey, the Lord is my shepherd. So you'd have to make sure that you are replacing your fluids and making sure you are staying hydrated, because it will affect your skin, it will affect a lot of things. You will never be able to even use the loo, and a whole lot of things will happen. And this everybody can clearly imagine how it will be like. So we say that the WHO has a protocol as far as water intake is concerned. That is 8 glasses per day. But there are some people who do more. And I remember
8 glasses per day. How big should the glass be?
Our glasses are funny. 8 ounce glass.
Okay.
And I so 8 glasses is okay. Or normally I go like, okay, use the sachet, the sachet water. It's 500 ml.
Okay.
Now it's smaller in size. I don't know what's happening to it. So make sure you have like 5 of that
a day.
But what happens is that some of our foods will pump a little water into us as far as our soups are concerned. So I go like, okay, it might be difficult because if you put 8 glasses of water here right now, it might look too much yet to be consumed in a day. But you just use the 5 sachet as a clue and make sure that you are not drinking when you are thirsty, but you are sipping on water. It helps. Sipping on water helps to even cushion us and prevent us from overeating. The same thing we want to do with our snacks.
How often do people confuse being dehydrated with being hungry?
Well, it happens to us all. Sometimes you go like, it feels like you are hungry, but you get water and you are fine. Like I said, Dziffa, you don't wait till you are hungry to eat. If you are following the normal protocol, you wouldn't even feel hungry. We don't eat because we are hungry. We eat because our body is just like a moving car. Yeah. Once the fuel is being used, there is a need for us to top up or replenish our stores. So if you are eating your breakfast, your snack, your lunch, your snack, your supper, I'm sure, Dziffa, you wouldn't even be confused as to if you are thirsty or hungry.
Okay, so speaking of snacks, what should we be paying attention to this year?
It's a fruits and vegetables 2020.
All right.
So make sure you are feeding. We are doing organic. Let's go organic. Year of return.
Pineapple everywhere. Mango season is there. You have what? Coconut.
And last week we spoke about amazing ways to twist your fruits to make sure you have something good and also pump some goodness into your system. Yeah. So don't just be watching. Let's imbibe everything we are speaking about, and I'm sure the results will be so evidential.
Is there any such thing as overeating fruits?
Dziffa, it's not food. So that's one tricky thing too. It has to do with measurements.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are people who can buy the whole salo mango. One of them, everything is cut into a takeaway pack. It is so full, and that is a snack. Please, this is like food. This is not a snack.
Okay.
So we serve snacks using sometimes dessert bowls. And this beautiful bowl you have here can pass for a dessert bowl or a salad bowl. So you make sure that there is always some measurement, a portioning to whatever you are taking. Okay. Yes. So that is how a dessert should be served.
I will actually reach for it so that our viewers can see.
So
this could pass for
a dessert bowl.
So don't go buy like 3 big pieces.
Don't use bonsia for your snacks.
Because you know when we were younger, you just take a big bucket, you dump like 15 mangoes in there, you spread your legs, and you just...
That is food.
Go away.
That is food.
That's
in
what we're
old
doing
Bible times, they were surviving with some of these things.
But we don't do that.
So make sure, measure.
Tiny bowl. Measure what you eat.
Don't say tiny bowl. They will say that you nutritionists, you're always too stiff for that.
Appropriate-sized bowl.
Thank you so much. Proper portioning. That's all your body will need. That is all your body will need. Can you imagine? I can sit and decide to enjoy, let's say, 10 pieces or 10 oranges, and my body will just use 1 or 2.
Yeah, so your body would even ask you, what are you doing? I don't need all of this. Okay.
Yeah, so we should give our body just what it needs, because it will use what it wants to use. The others are just lying somewhere.
Now, part of the point also says we shouldn't skip meals.
Yes.
Which is interesting, because I've been reading about people saying intermittent fasting and stuff like that. So why is it important to not skip meals?
They're keto people.
It's a movement, guys. Okay, so we're looking there, point 6. But let's look at point 5 as well. Following the daily dietary intake, that's breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, and supper. And then point 6 is no skipping of meals. Why?
When we skip meals, we are tempted to overeat.
Because we get hungry.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. You don't eat because you are hungry, because that way you munch on the food. And I even said here in one of our presentations that it takes up to 20 minutes for satiety signals to reach the brain. Okay. So if within 15 minutes you are done eating, nothing even has reached the brain. That Dziffa is eating. So you take your time, masticate. When we were doing science in JSS, there was a reason why they taught us mastication. Some of us, we just swallow. My kid brother swallows rice. He wouldn't
have
masticate.
Time to chew it.
No, he swallows them. And if you are doing that, before 20 minutes, your brain will get the information within that 20 minutes. You would have enjoyed more than you will need. But if you take your time, yes, information will be sent to the brain. It's a psychological thing. Yeah. Yes, you'd have to position your mind that this is what I have, this is what I'm supposed to eat. I am going to take my time, chew, and make sure that every goodness is absorbed. Do you get it? If you are overeating, most of the times, what happens with people who overeat is how fast they eat.
Okay.
Like I said,
because then you always want more.
You always, because information hasn't gotten to the brain yet, as far as satiety or satisfaction is concerned.
So why do people preach fasting and skipping meals as a way to?
It is very good. It's a very healthy way to detoxify.
Okay.
Yes. So we need to fast. Yes, we have intermittent fast, and even the keto. Per research base, as far as keto is concerned, it was done for some days. It wasn't done for months or the whole year. What do you think you are doing to your body? I don't vouch for it. But if you want to do it for some days to make sure you clean your system of certain things, 3 days per the research. 3 days. They didn't even use human beings.
Wow.
And now we've jumped onto it and everybody is doing it. It has caused somebody who is very, very close to you or around Citi, and I'm sure at the right time this person wants to even speak up about it, because if you don't do it well, you can kill yourself.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's talk about keeping a healthy BMI. How do we ensure that our body mass index throughout the year is healthy? This
one, calculating is very critical, technical, sorry, that's what I meant to say. And so you may need Akosua or any other nutritionists to help you, because if I say that BMI is calculated in kilogram over height in meters square, you need to first of all convert your height from, I don't know, I want to do it feet into centimeters, and then make sure you are dividing.
But how do we maintain it? So let's assume I know my BMI.
You know your BMI.
How do I ensure that I'm maintaining
So make sure, Dziffa, you avoid skipping of meals.
Okay.
And if it's even critical for our first point, as far as people who want to diet is concerned, one way of making sure that you stay true to yourself and achieve results is to avoid skipping of meals.
Okay.
So make sure you stick to the normal protocol of having your breakfast, your snack, your lunch, your snack, and your supper. If it will be too much for you, at least a snack, a healthy snack a day should pass. So there are people who go like the 3 meals, they will be too much for me. Imagine if you are spreading everything you are eating and not enjoying a bowl of goodness, or having a fat tray. It's interesting. There was a research recently, just by the former Ghana Health Service Director published it, that most of our MPs, and our politicians are obese. And
that's obvious. We all know that when you come into power, you get fat. But continue.
Yes, so it means that there is something good happening there. Okay, so Ghana, you have a good job, you are earning a good salary, and you start putting on weight. We have to make sure we are feeding our bodies just what it would need. You should seek help and let a professional help you to plan your meal, factoring your body's needs into it. Because for Dziffa, I can say that you are somewhat a sedentary person. You are a media person, but you are sedentary. For a reporter who goes out, the need or the needs of such a person will be different from somebody who is always seated here at Citi. So it is always not so straightforward talking about some of these things. Seek a professional help. Then after you've sought that help, if you have a normal BMI, if you are overweight, let's say you have a normal because you want to maintain, make sure that you are eating just what you need, and not once in a while you can have fun. Yes, Christmas comes every once a year, birthdays once a year, and so once in a while, if there are weddings, there are parties, there are funerals, yes, there are get-togethers, and you'd have to go out of the box. It is allowed. Even meal plan, 7 days in a week.
Cheat day.
I give you a day off where I tell you just choose something healthy, but it's a day you can just decide to pamper yourself.
Okay. How important is it for us to also check our blood sugar level?
Because when that journalist suddenly died, everybody was rushing to check their blood sugar. You never know what's going on with you. And I said it has happened to me before. I woke up, I didn't know what to do, Dziffa. I was so weak. It was so bad that it took another person who is not even a nutritionist or somebody I felt to tell me that I think your blood sugar is low. So you need to shoot it up. I took sugar solution and I felt better. You'd have to make sure you are paying attention to your body. It is this body that is carrying you, Dziffa, to Citi, to sit beautifully on this platform. It is that body that is earning you that salary. It is that body that is taking you through life. And so why don't you pay attention to this
body? How
do
we make it a habit of, and how frequently should we do that?
There is nothing wrong with once in a month,
okay,
or every 3 months. You decide that every 3 months I have to do this. Every 6 months I have to check my blood cholesterol to know how bad my bad cholesterol is, to know where
and that you can do it at a pharmacy, right? A trusted pharmacy.
For the triglycerides or the lipid profile, you need to do it at a lab.
Okay, an actual lab.
An actual lab,
okay.
yes.
Which one can you do at a pharmacy? The BMI?
Yes, the BMI, you need a nutritionist because you may not meet somebody who knows how to do it for you. But your blood sugar, you can check it at the pharmacy.
Okay.
Your blood sugar. Okay. So it helps you to know if you are okay. If it is high, then you seek help. You talk to a nutritionist or a dietitian to help you as to how best to work on it, because it is really killing our people, Dziffa. It is killing our people more than malaria now.
Wow.
It is killing our people.
But how do we make it a habit? Because I'm not sure you get any symptoms when your blood sugar is low or high.
For some
but you
people,
correct it for me. What are some of the symptoms you might see?
For some people, okay, so you have this blurred vision, and sometimes you need to really get far for you to start experiencing this. There are a good number of people who will never feel anything. So let's say every 3 months, 2020, let's say in March, okay, I didn't do it now. January, okay, today, I'm going to do it. In March or April, I have to make sure I do it. The next 3 months, I have to make sure because I don't know if it's even that expensive. They just take a sample here and just read it and let you know where you fall. If you are not safe, you make sure you seek help. But make sure every 3 months, I've decided that every 3 months, I have to make sure I check my blood sugar. If it's okay, glory be to God. If it's not okay, yes, it's good. I am aware of it, so I'll work on it. For your lipid profile, every 6 months, let's say January, I'll do it. June, July, I can do another one to make sure we are not shocked. Yes, Dziffa. So I think we'd have to make a conscious effort to check it. I checked mine just this December. Yes, my blood sugar. I did even the fasting. I did the random, and it was perfect. When you have that, it makes you feel somehow confident. Okay, I know that I am safe. Before I did it, I was like, yeah, I know I'm safe, but you just check it. He checked it and was like, it's perfect. My RBS and my FBS, same. 4.9. Okay. And it's
so these
good.
are numbers we need to know throughout the year. Your blood sugar level, your BMI,
your cholesterol or your triglycerides. So just say you want to know your lipid profile. So for the lipid profile, I said you can do it twice in a year and make sure your blood sugar at least you can check, because you are eating every day. There are people you can decide to do every month, but at least 3 times. Let's say 3 months. Every 3 months, you should make sure you are checking to make sure you are safe.
You're safe. Now, how important is it, especially for those trying to be healthy, whether they want to gain weight or lose weight, to speak to a professional this year?
Okay, so you realize that in Ghana here, Dziffa did this, it worked for Dziffa, and so I'm also going to do this. But
I think that's everywhere. Being influenced by your friends is like a global phenomenon.
Yeah. Posting pictures and other things, but we forget that Dziffa's mom is not my mother.
That's true.
Yes, and even if we are siblings, Dziffa, our DNAs are different. So the way you accept things, you may meet Dziffa's brother and will be shocked. Dziffa, is this your brother? Because he looks slimmer. When you see my mom, yes, if you see my mom and myself, there are people who go like, have you been sick? Because my mom is a typical Ashanti Obolo woman. And I'm this tiny girl. You get it? So it's like, I don't know, but she's like, I've done everything to her. Her body won't just accept to be big. Yes, so we are different, and we should learn this 2020 that our body's needs are different.
Yeah.
What will peg you may give me constipation. What may peg me may give you constipation. So it is very critical for us to pay attention and seek for professional knowledge when it comes to our nutritional health. There are nutritionists around. We are not a lot, but I come here every Monday. I'm seated here every Monday. You can walk to any good facility and there will be a nutritionist or a dietitian. If you are really serious about it, how long have I been here? Yes, if you really want one, you will find one.
Okay.
So it is very critical. When we want to do surgery, we look for surgeons. When it's nutrition, look for a nutritionist so that you can get what you really want. It is not just about fitness. I always tell people, if you work out and you enjoy a plate of foolishness, you won't get what you want.
That's true.
Because it's what you are putting in and not just what you are doing to your body outwardly.
Any last words for us as far as starting the year off with good eating habits, right? And the baby steps we need to take, even when we are not seeing the results immediately, to get to that kind of healthy goals that we've set for ourselves.
No, I've enjoyed the discussion today. Make sure it will be difficult for somebody who eats once a day to now go like, oh, so I have to eat 3 times a day. But I always say that keep smaller plates and make sure you are eating in bits. It's a way of training you and training your bodies to kind of squeeze itself, not to accept the larger meals again. It won't be difficult, trust me. When you meet people, when you are working on them, it's like,
yeah, because it's difficult.
But it's very difficult, but don't be hard on yourself. If it didn't work today, draw the plan again and then make sure you do it tomorrow. Let's all do it. Yes, some of us are fortunate where we come from. Our bodies have decided to be good to us. Yes, but others too wouldn't have it like how we have it. So don't be too hard on yourself, but just tell yourself, I will do it this 2020. Make sure you are taking something in for breakfast. Make sure you are taking in something for lunch. Make sure you are taking in something for supper. And make sure at least you take a fruit a day. Take more water, exercise. Just do this for 1 month
and you see the changes. Okay. Now, we'll take a look at the list again. So if you're just joining us, this is still Breakfast Daily on Citi TV. And I have with me state-registered nutritionist Akosua Konadu. So the list there, resolutions for 2020. First one, dieting this new year. You have to pay attention to whatever diet goals you might have set for yourself. Number 2, eating a balanced diet. Okay, that means you need some proteins in there, you need some carbs, you need some fruits and veggies. You want to ensure that you have everything you need on that plate. Most of the time, we have like 80% carbohydrates and then maybe 10% protein and then literally 2% vegetables. We're not going to do that this year. We're going to ensure that at least the carbs are 30%, protein perhaps 40%, and then fruits and vegetables are also around 30%. That's the ideal diet you want. And number 3, drink more water. You cannot go wrong with drinking more water, okay? And again, your glass could be 8 ounces and 8 glasses per day. You can do 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, 2 in the evening, and maybe 2 before you go to sleep if it works for you, especially if you're not consuming water-based meals throughout the day. You definitely need to drink more water. And then number 4, eating healthy snacks. Okay, stay away from all those packaged snacks, all those chips. Try and get some more, munch on carrots if you may. You can have a carrot and a guac on a side as a snack, or some fruits and some vegetables. Number 5, follow the daily dietary intake. That, again, is your breakfast, your snack, your lunch, your snack, and your supper. So for breakfast, be a bit more intentional about the kinds of things you have in there again. So if you're going to fry an egg, make an omelette and pump a lot more vegetables in there. You can add some mushrooms, you can add some spinach, whatever works for you, but you should have more veggies in there. And of course, you can chop up some pineapples and mangoes on the side if you have time to do that. For your snack, again, you can buy some fruits, you can buy some veggies, you can munch on some nuts and yogurt and granola and call it a day. No skipping of meals, because what that will do is it will make you hungry. And if you're hungry, you're going to eat bigger portions. So you might have skipped breakfast, but if your lunch is like breakfast, lunch, and dinner combined, you are not meeting your goals. So let's do that. And of course, achieve a healthy body mass index. If you don't know what that is, meet with your nutritionist and they'll help you figure it out. And then you will find steps to keep that healthy BMI. Regular checking of blood sugar. This is very, very important, especially since we just finished the holiday season. A lot of us have drunk abnormal amounts of alcohol. Your vision is beginning to get blurry. You are not feeling as good as you should be feeling. Get out there and get tested to ensure that your blood sugar level is still healthy and your cholesterol level is also healthy as well. Because if you don't do that, then you might actually get sick and die when you're not even supposed to die yet. Now, finally, get help. Okay, if you're sick, you go to see a doctor. If you want to learn a new lesson, you go to see a teacher. So if you want to change your diet, it's important to see someone who has been trained to assist you so that they can give you the road map and the plan that you should stick to so that you can get that healthy body, not necessarily the sexy body, but the healthy body that will get you through the year. Akosua, did we
Thank you
miss
so
anything?
much. You've done so well, Dziffa, but there's something you said about the mangoes and pineapple. Last week we spoke about fruit combination. You just have to be careful.
So mango
sweet should
or
be sweet.
pineapple.
Yes, sweet. If you want to stay sweet, stay sweet. If you want to stay acidic or semi-acidic, stay acidic
Okay, so
or
don't mix the
semi-acidic.
two.
Don't mix the
Okay,
two.
so you can either do mango, either pineapple, banana, whatever it is. Instead of more carbs, have more fruits.
Yes.
You can't go wrong with that. And pay attention to your portions this year. Listen to your body, because sometimes
Well done. Well
your body
done,
will tell
well
you,
done,
I'm
well
full.
done, well done.
But you'll be looking at the plate like, there are too many poor people in the world, so I'm not going to throw it away. Eating it isn't going to solve the problem anyway. So take what you need and leave the rest.
Thank you so much, Dziffa. I have to buy you lunch for today.
I'm just showing up. Where do we follow you on social media?
Okay, so on Instagram, nutritionist AAAKY. On Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, is nutritionist Akosua. And then you can call me 0243 350206.
Excellent. Thank you so much for spending your new year with us.
Thank you, Dziffa,
Still the
for
first
having
week
me.
of the year. Thank you guys too for staying with us. Hi there. We hope you enjoyed the show.
Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends.
This is Breakfast Daily on Citi TV.
Join the Breakfast Daily team Monday through Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 10. Join us for breakfast daily, only on Citi TV.